All right, man. So we're back again. I don't want to call this Joshua's Proximity or Rissky Powerhouse episode. It's a combination of three things. You got my boy Darius Ricks. We got the one and only Kendall Bishop, Rissky Powerhouse. Go check him out on all media platforms. And we got me, Joshua Edwards, host of Joshua's Proximity. Let's go ahead and get right into it, man. Kendall, I know you got something that you want to talk to us about. Let's hear it, man. Throw the question.
Yeah, man. So first of all, long time no see. Good to see y'all, man. How y'all boys been doing? I'm glad one of us popped out with the Shaw paraphernalia today. So
big facts.
Big shout out to Darius for coming correct. Somebody had to represent, you know what I mean? All of us came a long way through Shaw, grew as men, got us to the points where we are today, to be able to sustain, whatever lifestyle we living in and how we doing. So yeah, big ups to y'all, man. The proximity, bro, always been tuning in, you know what I mean, since you put me on. And you know what I mean, I want to see a lot more from you, bro.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, definitely, bro. I will admit, man, I was the first. I've slacked off, especially really, really bad this past month, man. My grandfather just passed away. I don't want to get too, sympathetic or anything like that, but I'm back and I'm back in action. You feel me? It's so good to see y'all boys, man. Kendall is on another level right now. Darius, we're looking for you now, man, to finally transition. So if you want to just go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Forget about us too, man. Let's hear a little something about you, man.
Hey, look, what the old heads say. I'm trying to be like y'all, bro. What's going on, everybody? My name is Darius Ricks. As you can see, I am a graduate of Shaw University, a mass comm major. Me and Kendall go way back, 757. I was a tuba section leader for 3 years at Shaw University. Me and Josh go way back, mass comm majors. It's Dr. O class, Dr. Mitchell class. You know what I'm saying? Chop it up, football stuff. Big football head, NFL fan, college football fan, just learning the schematics of the game and just like all that, bro. I'm ready to chop it up with y'all, bro. And y'all gotta stay tuned, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all motivate me like y'all really did. So
brew it up for real, man. Like I told you, bro, like some people, I didn't realize, like, I'm more of an NBA guy, but throughout the course of our livelihood, we've all grown into the NFL, into the NBA, MLB, NHL, whichever sport, drove your childhood for whatever respective person you are, we all attached ourselves to something. And sometimes we don't realize the actual potential that we have in our thought process throughout the course of our livelihood and what we learned about these sports in terms of players, statistics, storylines, history. Players that we didn't even watch with two eyes, we can go down the course of their career along with the storyline as well as what they did for their teams respectively. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't really have that potential. Some people are kind of like forced into like what we see on Undisputed or what we might see on First Things First. It's kind of a fandom, opinion driven, no facts, no type of explanation, just opinion based on how you feel more so than what it is in terms of what the game is demanding you to speak. You know what I mean? And Darius, I definitely think like, bro, you can beat Adam Scheffner, bro. You can beat him out. You can beat him out. You can beat him out, bro. You can sit down and have an educated conversation, bro, about the game with anybody, bro. And not only do you have opinions, you have facts that drive these opinions, and that's the biggest part, bro.
Definitely, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. But Adam Schefter, that's a big compliment. I gotta consider myself like maybe how I say it, like a John Kahn for the Washington ESPN. You know what I'm saying? Like just go deeper in the numbers, bro. Like it's more than just judging a player by like what you see. You have to go in every detail, especially like we go on Facebook, we talk about the quarterback position. It's like what separates an elite quarterback from an average quarterback to below average quarterback, bro. Like it's so many things that you can talk about in the NFL. Like we got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and can't believe I gotta talk about Carson Wentz. But yeah, man.
Since we're talking about it, man.
Great segue.
Oh, yeah, great segue. Since we're talking about it, I know you two guys Kendall, you're a Colts fan. Darius, you're a Washington Commander fan.
The
That
shoe.
is the ugliest name. But how does it feel from Kendall? I remember last year we was having discussions about the Colts, and you was having Carson Wentz, and for y'all to ship him off to the Commanders. One, Kendall, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like the trade was necessary? And then Darius, after he goes, you could just kind of, tell me what was your initial thought process of how everything went down. Let me hear it from you, Kendall.
He answers prayers.
I thought it was impossible. Bro, I thought it was impossible. But one thing about Carson Wentz, he got a great contract. Not for the Redskins' sake, just because of the extra little bit of extra that comes with the trade. But just in terms of the Colts, when we traded that first round pick in that conventional second, or I think it was a third, I think it was a second. It was a first round pick that might be a second if he played a certain amount of snaps, and then we gave away the third pick too, right?
No, it was a second that was it was a conditional second round that would have been a first round. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave up, at the time, it seemed like we were a mid-level competitive team that just might need a quarterback that don't make mistakes, So the first round pick didn't really hurt because when you look at our defense, you look at our offensive line, it's kind of hard to find a first round pick that's going to actually demand minutes, actually get snaps, actually, take a load off of other players when you have a competitive roster, especially like older guys that been with the team. You feel me? So we sent that first to get another veteran, turned out to be Carson Wentz. And when we made that move, I said, the only thing that we can bank on is the fact that our head coach is the same coach that basically coached his best season that he had. But one thing we know about Carson Wentz is he kind of have that Cowboys curse. Like he'd be perfect. He'll be a perfect backup quarterback for the Cowboys just off the strength that Carson Wentz always makes the mistake when you don't need it. Like the Tampa Bay game, 5 turnovers in one game, we lose in overtime by 6. When you think about the Jacksonville game in game 7 in week 17, we get blown out. We need one game to make the playoffs. When you think about the first Titans game that we played, no Derrick Henry, we lose by 1 touchdown. You know what I mean? It's like all these one possession games that we're losing and we should have been winning. But yeah, man, Darius, what you think about y'all getting that man? Because I definitely was happy when I heard about it.
Okay, so my initial reaction was like, okay, because Ron Rivera has been preaching the whole offseason, like, we got to get a quarterback. He has made it known to every single NFL club that I have to get a quarterback no matter what. And my first initial choice was Russell Wilson because new rebrand, new name, new jerseys, sort of a dying fan base. Like Russell Wilson, image-wise, and his QB play for being 10 years in the league, he would have been someone that would have revolutionized and helped us out. He'll been the first tier talent that we had in a long time. And honestly, I would have thrown the whole farm. Like, we offered 3 first-round picks, and we haven't even gotten a chance to mention players because Seattle knew what they were doing. Seattle kind of used us as bait just so they can bait other teams to bring in. So, he's now a Denver Bronco. But how I look at Carson Wentz, he wasn't my first choice, but after watching a couple of his games from last year and 2017, like, honestly, he's probably the best option we could have gone with because I think talent-wise, he's better than Jimmy G. He's better than Marcus Mariota. He's better than Mitchell Trubisky. And those are the quarterbacks that's in the free agency market right now that everybody's telling us, oh, yeah, we're gonna go with this guy. Yeah. Are you for real? I mean, and looking at it now, like, with free agency literally just started a couple of minutes ago, like, I think that was the best move we can do, especially with 2 third-round picks. I mean, he has talent. He has arm strength. That's was something that we have lacked in our offense for the past 2 years. We haven't had consistent quarterback play. We had a top 6 O-line. We got Terry McLaurin, who 2,000 yards a season without a quarterback. We got Antonio Gibson, who can work on his fumbles and vision, could be a top 15, top 10 running back. Logan Thomas coming off injury. John Bates, a young tight end who I see gets some snaps. But I think Carson is, well, technically he's the second best quarterback in the NFC East. And that's not saying a lot, bro. It's really not.
So look, when I first heard about it, bro, I was praising God. But, for 2/3, we gave up a second in the first. We get back 2/3, that kind of let you know that his value plummeted from summer to summer, or well, from spring to spring, you know what I mean? But when you look at the Colts, like now it's looking like Jimmy G is our option, unless we just like go with like a young guy and like just trust that a young guy won't make mistakes. He can execute the offense, and we just depend on running the ball with Jonathan Taylor, depend on Darius Leonard's leadership on the defensive end. We need a more thick pass rush. We definitely been better on defense than when you think about 5 years ago, the Colts defense cover 2. We was terrible in the secondary. We was terrible. We didn't have an offensive line. It was basically Andrew Luck just trying to will us the games on the offensive end himself. And we know T.Y. Hilton battling injuries for a half decade. You also got no consistent tight end. We went through about 4 tight ends in like a 6-year span, from Eric Ebron to now we got
Jack
Mo
Doyle.
Alley-Cos. We had Jack Doyle. You know what I mean? So it's like, what were we truly depending on? We had Marlon Mack. He gave us a good season. We thinking he gonna build on top of that. Then we draft Jonathan Taylor. Now it's not a bad pick, but I'm just saying, like, you keep starting over. You know what I mean? And we show that we're competitive, but it's like we're too good to get a top pick, but we're too bad to like compete for a championship. So it's like, I think our best move is, because all of these quarterback moves that we've made, from Phillip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett, Carson Wentz, they've all been lateral moves. So I think we should definitely just go with Jacob Eason. He's a 6'6" quarterback who we drafted this would be his 3rd season. So he backed up Phillip Rivers. He backed up Carson Wentz. He's been in the Frank Reich system for this would be his 3rd year. He's a gunslinger. He can push the ball down the field. He's long. He can see over the line. We got a stout offensive line and a hefty run game. So it's not like he would have to like put up 300 a game and 3 touchdowns or something like that. We just got to make sure you don't throw a hefty amount of picks, which Carson Wentz didn't have a lot of. If you just looked at his numbers straight, like 23 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, it's not bad. I think he had 4 fumbles, if I'm not mistaken, this season. But it's the timing of the turnovers.
It's the timing.
It's the timing of the turnovers. But Josh, coming from a Carolina fan who's still in the market for Deshaun Watson, who's in the market for getting a quarterback, that's still in the same field of what we were discussing. So, like, what was your outlook from the third party perspective when you seen Carson Wentz get moved to the Commanders?
Well, I think me personally, I think that I like the move. So it took me a little minute to kind of think about it. I'm like, my first reaction was like, this is a terrible move. But then, like Darius stated, once you go back and look at all of the free agent quarterbacks, or the quarterbacks that are looking to supposedly be moved, it's like he's the best one. Jimmy G, he's better. He's more talented than Jimmy G, but I like Jimmy G because he's more of a winner. He's better than Marcus Mariota. He's better than what was the other guy you stated, Darius?
Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, come on, that's no, that's no competition. But you made a valid point. It's not about him turning the ball over, or throwing interceptions or fumble. It's when he does it, man. He's throwing stuff. Instead of getting his safety against the Tennessee Titans, he has the ball in his right hand. Then he throws it with his left hand, and then they pick 6 right there in the end zone.
Starting to get warmed up. Wentz faking the handoff. Boy, under pressure. Barely gets it out. It's intercepted. Disaster for Indianapolis. Elijah Molden.
So it's like it's the timeliness of his turnovers. And like you stated earlier, against the Jags, the last week of the season, when you have to win to get into the postseason, this is why you traded for him. This is why you traded a conditional 2nd-round pick for Carson Wentz. And he just goes to show you that right now he is on the fight of his starting career. Right now, Carson Wentz looks like a backup quarterback in the National Football League. But
let me drop
second best. I don't know if he's the second best in NFC, man. NFC East. He might be the third, fourth. He might be the worst quarterback in the league in the NFC East, bro. I think I got Jalen Hurts over him right now because he obviously beat him out in Philadelphia. We already know Dak Prescott is ahead of him. Daniel Jones, to me, he's not bad. He just has a lot of turnovers, if you ask me. To be honest with you,
he's bad, bro.
He has a lot of turnovers, bro. I don't think he's bad.
The funniest play in recent history was Daniel Jones. He breaks away. He's at the 40. He's at the 50,
tripping.
The 40, the 35, the 20. And he tripped, bro. Come on, bro. I was sweet.
Oh, yeah, man.
So,
but what do you think y'all got a good shot at D. Watson?
Oh, yeah. Of course, man. I've been stating this the whole time. I said, man, we're getting him. We literally released AJ Bouye and Morgan Fox, I believe. So it's going to create, it's going to create more cap room for Deshaun Watson. There's no reason why we're getting rid of those players if we're not going to be bringing in somebody that is huge. I don't want to say it, but I think we're going to get rid of Christian McCaffrey in the deal. I don't think that we should, but yeah, that's probably what it's going to cost us. And
running back replaceable, bro.
Say it again.
Running backs are replaceable, bro.
Yeah,
I love Christian McCaffrey for like his skill set, like just like wide receiver. Like I'm in belief of, especially let's talk about wide receivers real quick. I'm in a belief that you should draft wide receivers and corners every year because that position is getting more value because it's literally 7-on-7 now. So like Amari Cooper, they traded him, but they got CD Lamb. They spent the bread on Michael Gallup. Cedric Wilson, he's been a pretty good target for Dak Prescott. And shoot, they can go in the draft and get maybe a sleeper guy in the draft. So I can see that. So the Deshaun Watson trade is going to be interesting because if he comes to the NFC, he would literally be arguably second or third, depending on how you see Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. He'll be the third best quarterback in the NFC. I'm talking about the whole conference. Like, that's going to be monumental. Whereas the Saints or Carolina, I'm going to lean on Carolina because he went to school in Clemson. And I also heard that, he wants to finish school. So that's probably a good destination. But I wouldn't be shocked he tried to go to the Saints too, because one thing I noticed, him and Michael Thomas have the same agent. And so he maybe want to play with Michael Thomas. He could probably bring some more weapons because elite quarterbacks try to attract as much attention to that team as they much need to.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. You about to say something, Kendall?
No, I was just saying, yeah, man.
All right, well, let's keep it rolling, man. I see that we still talking, just a little bit about football. Yeah. So let's transition into the NBA. As you can see, Kendall and myself, I'm a LeBron James fan. He might be just a little more diehard of a LeBron James fan than I am, and he has all the stats. You know it. He's getting his stats ready right now.
Right. So, I ain't dying over no man.
I'm not saying. Not like that, man.
Well, I got a young man now. I got a child. Well, it's one man I might die over.
Yeah.
But you come on, man.
But nah,
I'm a fan of the whole league, bro.
Y'all see what jersey he got on though, right? Big facts. All right. So
I could have went with the Giannis jersey.
Okay, yeah, I forgot you got that.
Or Tatum.
You made the right choice.
I put up back-to-back 50 points, back-to-back 50 balls, bro, in a week span. Sprinkled in a 23-point trip dub in the middle of that.
Yeah, so tell me, what are your predictions over this NBA season, man? I think we're coming down the home stretch. Talk to me, man.
Bro, this Eastern Conference is looking great, bro. The first round, it's like everybody's gonna deal with an upset. Like somebody's gonna crazy underachieve expectation just because of the way the matchups are. Like nobody expected Cleveland to be this good. Nobody expected Chicago to be this good. Miami is rolling through injuries. Brooklyn is an 8th seed. Think about that, bro. Ben Simmons, he don't got to play until the last 5 games of the regular season. This is why. Because the game that he's going to play is an athletic-based energy effort type of game. I'm going to guard Jimmy Butler. I'm going to guard Jason Tatum. I'm going to push the ball off the rebound, get the shooters open. KD going to get his 30. If Kyrie out there, we are winning, bro. It's like Ben Simmons don't have a game that – what's up, big man? What's up, big man? Yeah, welcome to the show. Yeah. But, yeah, man. But yeah, Ben Simmons don't have a game that depends on the team revolving around him. You know what I mean? He don't mind getting 14 points and just having 8 rebounds and 8 assists and guarding the best player all game. You know what I mean? So with KD out there, I trust it. You got Curry, you got Drummond. So I'm liking Brooklyn as an AC. That's scary, bro. Philly, I don't trust James Harden a bit. I don't trust his intangibles and what I think it takes for a team to win a championship. Like, if you've seen them the last 2 games between Embiid and Harden, they've been shooting terribly. Harden 2 for 13 versus Brooklyn, a big game, primetime matchup. You just forced a trade, try to come out and say, oh, it's just a regular game and all of this and that. No, it's not. You understand the magnitude. You know what's going on. You're not oblivious to the fact that you just force your way out of that team and them dudes are laser focused on coming at you. You know what I mean? And he folded like a piece of paper. You feel what I'm saying? Embiid last night shot 9 for 28 versus the Orlando Magic. Harden was terrible in that game, 5 for 18 from the field. Like, it's starting, man. If they depending on 15 free throw attempts a piece per game to win, it's not happening in the playoffs, bro. You got to get buckets. You need field goals. That's the thing about LeBron, bro. I mentioned earlier, he had the 56-point game versus Golden State. He followed that 7 days later or 6 days later with a 50-point game, you know what I mean, against the Washington Wizards, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. When you look at that game, those games that LeBron is putting up these buckets, he's getting buckets, field goals. He's shooting threes. He's fading away. He's getting to the rim. He's controlling the game. LeBron only have 7 games this year in which he shot 10 or more free throw attempts. 7 games. He have 34 games of him scoring 10 or more field goals. 34. Like, think about how many LeBron leading the league in scoring right now. He put up 31 last night. Okay, they lost to Phoenix, terrible loss. They got blown out from the beginning. LeBron put up 31, 7, and 6 in 3 quarters. You know what I mean? If that's a competitive game, he's going for 40 again. You know what I mean? We call his game against the Rockets in the middle of those 50-point games. I said he missed the game from his knee swelling up. He came back against the Rockets. He shot 9 for 23, 23-point triple-double. And we said, dang, bro, you got to play better. Y'all lost to the Rockets. Russ put up 30. Russ finally gave us a good game, bro, and you couldn't come through with him. You feel me? But it's like his floor is most players' ceiling. 9 for 23, I think he had 14 rebounds, 11 assists. You like 4 blocks. Like, what more can he do? He's not going to shoot 60% from the field every night. That's not realistic. But the Lakers, I don't trust them at all. As a team, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost in the first game of the play-in, bro. It wouldn't shock me. But what some of y'all sleepers like? My sleeper team is Toronto, though. That's my sleeper team in the East. You got to watch out for them guys, man. Who y'all like this year? And Darius, what you feel about your Wizards, man?
I wish I could go back when we started 10-3. I honestly do, bro. Man, I just feel like as from looking at that organization, like, we keep trying to push away, trying to have a complete rebuild, and we just trying to chase cheap wins, trying to get like 47, 45 or be above 500. And then it takes you out of place to get a lottery pick. Like, and for the way I see it, I think next year they're going to go with Bradley Beal. And bad play this year, Bradley. Like, I don't even think you need that max. Bradley Beal, Kuzma, and the Unicorn. I think they want to go with that combination next year. And I've been hearing talks about John Wall returning, and I miss John, bro. Like, John just had that dog mentality. When you have someone that has an alpha dog mentality, it's infectious. And I think Bradley, he has like a dog in him, but it wears off, and I need him to get his mindset right next year. But let's stop talking about them. They're 29 and 37. They're gonna get dubbed tonight. So anyway, but I'm starting to like Brooklyn Nets, bro. I think Brooklyn's gonna do something this year, especially with even though the whole Kyrie situation, like which is it's kind of dumb. He can only play certain home games.
Bro, let me get 1 second, bro. They're an 8th seed, so them having home court wouldn't be beneficial. Would you rather Kyrie play 4 games in the series because you're on the road, or would you rather him only play 3 because you're at home? Bro, they know what they're doing, bro. They tanking, bro. They sitting players out. KD sat out an extra week. He could have been back. He could have came back before the All-Star. They didn't bring him back so that the role players can get in rhythm. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off that long.
Oh no, you good. I didn't even think about it like that. That actually makes sense.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. Because at the end of the day, it's just like football. You gotta get your best players on the court or the field. So, that's actually a good idea right there. But yeah, I think KD and Kyrie, and I kind of interested in seeing how Ben Simmons is going to fit. Using his defensive prowess against other guys, like probably not against Joel Embiid because of him as a center and stuff, but him matching up with anyone, your best player on the floor, that's going to be a great weapon for them, and that'll be an interesting matchup. Whoever they line up against come playoff time.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm kind of happy that you put it into perspective, man. Yeah, they're the 8th seed. They're going to be on the road. Kyrie's going to be able to play Game 7 if it goes there. Hey, now you got us thinking, Kendall. Right now, so I went to the Hornets game against the Miami Heat. I was saying, man, the Heat, they are a legit team, man. There's a saying that you are what your record says you are. And right now, that's what the Nets, that's what the Lakers, any team that's in the bottom half of their conference, that's exactly who they are. I think what the problem is with the Brooklyn Nets is they don't have enough chemistry. What is Kyrie going to do in the playoffs? What is Ben Simmons going to do? I heard it was rumors talking about he's not even able to play one-on-one yet. What the hell is wrong with Ben Simmons right now? Can somebody explain to me what the hell is wrong with Ben Simmons? Is it his mental?
All year.
Bro, is it his back? Is it his mental? Is it like what the hell is going on? So, they got a lot of figuring out on that end of the spectrum. Man, as much trash as I have talked about Giannis within the last 2 years, it's hard to say that they're not the favorites, though. We might see another rematch, man. The Suns are playing phenomenal, but I actually I like the Bucks versus the Warriors in the NBA Finals, man. And you might see a situation where it goes 7 games, but those right now, that's my little bit bold prediction: Warriors versus the Bucks in the NBA Finals.
That should be a good
Warriors,
matchup.
Hey man, the Warriors is real, bro.
Yeah.
You get Draymond. Once you get Draymond back, they got Wiseman playing in the G League right now, just getting in rhythm, getting up a lot of touches, running the floor, playing defense, protecting the rim, playing a big role. You know what I mean? So that's ramping him up to be prepared for, when he get on the floor and he's only playing split minutes for the Warriors. He might play 20 to 25 minutes. I'm not sure if he'll start. I hope he don't. I want Kevon Looney to start with Draymond and bring Wiseman bring him off the bench with the young runners, bro, with Poole, with Damon Lee, with Gary Payton. You can run those guys, and then you can interchangeably have Steph or Clay out there with the young crew. And one thing we noticed with a lot of these teams with veteran stars, you need some healthy, fresh, young guns, bro, that can give. Like when you look at Miami, they got a plethora of young players that contribute. Gabe Vincent, Matt Strus. You got Duncan Robinson. You got Tyler Hero, and then you got those vets. You got Jimmy, Kyle Lowry, PJ Tucker. Bam is fairly young. He middle-aged, 24, 25, 26. So, you look at Golden State with Poole, with Damian Lee, with Gary Payton II, with Wiseman coming back, Jonathan Kuminga playing a bigger role now. You got Steph Clay, obviously Iguodala coming back off injury soon. They got a lot of veterans and a lot of young players that can contribute in a multitude of ways. So
let me just say something just real quick. So yeah, when you look at just the top four teams, the top two teams in each conference, the Heat and the Bucks, Suns and the Grizz, they got young talent around them, bro. I mean, those are guys that can run up and down the floor. You look at the Lakers, they're at the bottom because they old and everything, but that's just a little side note. But go ahead.
And we seen when LeBron put that 50 on Washington, they took Russ out the game with 8 minutes and 47 seconds left in the game, and they didn't put him back in at all. And LeBron closed that game with Malik Monk, Austin Reeves, THT, and Stanley Johnson. LeBron used to build his teams with veterans, but we failed to realize that LeBron was the young guy. He was the one that can play 41 minutes and run around all game and fly around. He might have one other young dude that play in the rotation with him because they were the young guys. So as he gets older, you kind of got to reverse that theory, and where you were used to being that young guy with the veterans. Now you got to go get some young fellas because you're the veteran. Although you're still productive, you need young guns who fresh, healthy, and energetic that can bring energy. And that's the issue with like players like Dwight, Carmelo Anthony, Kent Bazemore, Rajon Rondo when they had him earlier in the season. Those guys don't bring fresh energy.
Yeah. Go ahead, Darius.
Yeah, I was agreeing with him, especially with the Lakers. Especially with Bron, he needs versatile guys to help him on the floor. And right now, like Russ has not provided no type of help, man. It's crazy how he went from Washington. He literally with some help, he wielded us to a playoff spot. Then he goes and his style just doesn't match. It doesn't match with what a lot of teams do. And starting to see the whole cancer talk that a lot of my friends were saying, man.
But I'll say this, man. To be honest, bro, it might just be me. Yes, Russell Westbrook is a problem, but I don't think he's the biggest problem, man. I think, it's the lack of AD not being healthy, and they just don't play defense at all. And I believe, in all seriousness, it starts with LeBron James. When you're getting back in transition and it's 5-on-4 and LeBron James is in the backcourt cherry picking, or he's just, just strolling up the court, man, that stuff, it adds up to me. But I mean, that's just kind of my little 2 cents.
But the Lakers are trash. That's the
bottom. They're awful.
I wouldn't be surprised if they lose the first game of the play-in.
Like you said, man, they probably will lose the first game of the play-in, and they gotta play the Clippers right then, and the Clippers been owning them. Yeah, they out of there.
They haven't been. I wouldn't say they've been owning them. They play, even though they lost, they swept the season series.
Oh, they won the last 7 though. I thought
the last three games that they played the Clippers this year, they lost all of those games, bro, by 3 or less. And they either didn't have LeBron or they didn't have AD in all those games. So it's like,
are you gonna guarantee AD's gonna be there? Come playing in time?
Who would do that?
Okay, then.
But I'm just saying, AD, I mean, he started his physical activities this week.
I don't care nothing about AD.
Started his physical activities this week. I mean, but it's still 15 games left. That's about 5 weeks. So if he come back in 2, maybe 3, it'll be just like last year, when him and Bron came back right at the cusp of the playoff. But, with LeBron playing how he playing, them getting hot one night, that might get them in. And then they just going to get swept by Phoenix. Or they're going to have to see Memphis in the first round. Or Golden State.
Nah, they don't want to see the Suns. I think, if anything, they would rather see the Grizzlies. They don't want to see the Suns at all. Not after last night.
Bro, the Suns, bro.
They're legit.
They ready.
Let me hear y'all NBA predictions. I said the Warriors versus Bucks. You think we're going to see a rematch, Kendall, of last year's?
It's hard to go against the Suns, but they need CP back. CP had the hand injury two weeks ago, and it was a 4 to 6 week. So he gonna come back with maybe 5 or 6 games left in the year. It's a hand injury, so it's not like lower extremity, hamstring or knee or calf or something. So that gives me faith that he can still be good in the playoff, which forces me to pick the Suns, bro. I don't see nobody beating them unless they hurt up. Like Book go down for a game here, Ayton miss, get a shoulder injury or something crazy like that. Healthy, they cover every element, bro. And when you look at Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, they have a plethora of wings, knowing that that's the weakest position. Like, they're going to get their most demand out of the point guard and the shooting guard position. And then you have Ayton. So they have they have so many different wings that fit right in the middle, from Landry Shamet to Cam Johnson to Mikal Bridges to Jay Crowder. Then you could throw in Campaign at the 2 guard, sometimes the point guard when you take out Chris Paul. These dudes, man, they got shooters, they got defenders, they got a facilitator who can score 50, 40, 90 from all 3 levels. You got a bucket getter in Devin Booker. All he got to do is get buckets. That's it. Just go and score. You can shoot 25, 30 times, and Chris Paul going to handle he going to facilitate the rest of the shots to the rest of the team, because Chris Paul don't mind only taking 10 or 11 shots, and the defense, like, these dudes are stout, and that's what forces me to call a rematch, bro. I think, sometimes rivalries are brewed through the highest level of competition and respectability through the highest level. You know what I mean? And the Suns getting redemption, would start a new era, really. And some people might think, like, when you see Chris Paul, he older and whatever, like we said about the Suns, they have youth. So what they're building is a system, a culture, something that's going to bleed through when Chris Paul leaves, replacing that role with somebody else, or somebody else, a player that's been there stepping into a larger role. You never know. Like, we're looking at Monty Williams, and he came into a situation that had like 4 coaches in 5 years, and he locked in and he been there for the last 3 to 4 consecutive seasons. That says a lot about what he do for the players in terms of their mentality, actually teaching a system, not just teaching them how to play basketball. Like, you can come to an NBA training camp, I'm sure, and there's coaches telling you stuff like, hey, make sure when you cut, you pivot and dash to the rim. They're like, bro, I need to know what we're going to be doing on defense, bro. I need to know I want to know over the course of 90 shots, what is our offense? I don't want to know possession by possession. I want to know, what are we trying to do? Like, are we trying to crash the offensive glass? Are we trying to get to the rim often? Are we looking for shooters? Like Utah, you're looking for shooters. You know what I mean? You could tell when you watch certain teams exactly what they're looking for in terms of their offense. And the Suns have a culture, bro. They're building that. And I think they might be a competitive team for a long time because of how their contracts are set up. It pushes them 3 years from now. So they have a lot of cushion. So, yeah, man, Suns, Bucks, because nobody's stopping Giannis. And their team had the most camaraderie. They just got Brook Lopez back today, and he's supposed to play tonight. And he might come off the bench. I hope he come off the bench. And I hope they stay with the same lineup they've been running. And he comes off the bench. And when you just look at Milwaukee, they steal little chips and pieces here and there off of the bottom of other teams' benches, like the Semi Ojales, like the Grayson Allens. They just traded DiVincenzo because they drafted Jordan Nwora, and he's actually giving them good minutes. They just make all the right moves around. It's easy when you have those top 3 or 4 guys guaranteed. Obviously, it's easier then. But when you have those guys and you can just fill in the pieces in between, it just comes down to making timely, good decisions, moving a second round pick to get a player that's been in the league for 3 or 4 years that might give me the production of a second round pick, but he got a better mentality because of his veteran or his experience. You know what I mean? So the Bucks, man, nobody's stopping Giannis, and they got camaraderie, chemistry, and defense. So Suns, Bucks.
Go ahead, Darius.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I kind of do want to see Suns and Bucks again. I wouldn't mind Warriors and Bucks too, but the way the Phoenix playing right now, and is Chris Paul even playing?
No, he's been out for 2 weeks. They lost the first 2 games without him, and they ran off 4 straight. So they right back to it.
So once he comes back, he can give them. He doesn't have to score 30, maybe like a good 21, 15, good assist total. Help move the offense. I think that would be good. I would like to see like Warriors too, because like I was rooting for Klay Thompson to come back so much, because just to show like how much people have missed the Warriors in basketball, bro. And then how many points he put up the other day? Was it like 30, 37?
Yeah, like 37. I think it was like 36, 37 points, bro. He got hot.
Yeah, he got hot, man. I like that. I like that a lot. So I'm gonna say Suns versus Bucks, part 2.
All right, so we got 2 Suns versus Bucks and 1 Suns versus Warriors, man. Y'all got it. Any other things that you want to say? I know we shoot.
That man Jokic is the far runaway MVP to me, bro. Unless Giannis gets hot, and if Giannis averaged like 34 points over the last 10 games, and he stormed and take that 1 seed or something like that, that's possible. I'm not gonna rule him out. Embiid kind of trending down since James Harden got there. He's been shooting bad from the field. He had a good game last night with 36 and 16 rebounds, 7 assists, but he shot 9 for 28. Like that's 32%. Come on, like you got to be better than that. Like you're the biggest body on the floor every night. You're the center. The center is supposed to be the most efficient player on the floor, and that's what Jokic is. He shoots 57% from the field, 37% from 3, 83% from the free throw, averaging nearly 26 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists. He leading the league in defensive box plus minus. So although he might not be the most athletic defender, his knowledge, his anticipation, his IQ puts him in position to make the right plays on defense with his lack of athleticism. You know what I mean? So I think it says more when you're not as athletic and you're impacting defense more than the athletic players. That let me know that you're hungry for it. You're trying, you know what I mean? You're trying to give effort. So what he's doing without his second or third best player in Denver, I think they're 13 games over 500. Although they're the 6th seed, they're about 2 games below the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. So they got the same amount of wins. It's not like the wins is like a crazy differential. It's just that when you use the verbiage, the 2 seed. Okay, so what is the value of the 2 seed in one conference if they got the same amount of wins as the 6th seed in the other?
Or the
you know
5th
what I mean?
seed, 5th and 4th seed.
Exactly.
That's exactly what they got the same amount of wins as the Jazz and the Mavs. So
you know what I mean? So when I look at that, it's like, bro, Jokic is leading the league in PER, offensive win shares, defensive box plus minus, total win shares, value over replacement player. He averaging 14 rebounds, 8 assists, shooting 57% from the field. He's doing everything right, man. He's doing the most for his team, clearly.
MVP is Jokic. You got any last remarks, Darius?
Well, I wanted to ask y'all what y'all think y'all need in the draft if y'all been paying attention to the NFL. I could definitely help y'all what y'all team needs.
Oh nah, I mean,
Bro,
I haven't really like looked at it. I know that we definitely need some linemen. Quarterback, obviously, but we're not going to draft that. I would definitely say linemen, linemen and linebackers, and maybe another corner. But I mean, that's really it.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of spot on, bro.
Who me? Who me?
Yeah, you kind of spot on. Y'all definitely need O-line, and you guys are the 6th overall pick. But it kind of depends on Deshaun Watson's situation, because y'all trade for Deshaun, y'all not going to have the 6th overall pick.
Not at all.
So I don't know. Y'all probably going to have to go with low budget signing guards, maybe like Billy Turner, who just got released a couple of minutes ago, help you out. And corner, because y'all have a lot of depth at corner, but I don't see you keeping all them guys. Like Dante Jackson, he's probably going to command like 12 to 11 million on the market.
Yeah, I'm about to say, we might be able to get rid of, Dante Jackson, let him walk and try to re-sign Gilmore. We got JC Horn. So
yeah,
and we just traded for the dude Henderson from the Jags last year. So, we got some young corners, but if we need a veteran that's going to lock something down, then, we obviously could sign Gilmore. But I mean, that's kind of it, man.
Yeah. If I was Panthers, if you don't get Deshaun, probably sign a quarterback, I would go if he falls, Ike Ekwonu from NC State is a dog, bro.
Left tackle,
He
right?
is a left tackle from NC State. He can play guard, such great flexibility. 6'8" is a great mauler. And if he's not there, maybe like a Charles Cross from Mississippi State.
Okay.
Yeah, I already know the Colts, man. We definitely need to get a wide receiver, bro. We drafted Michael Pittman out of Ohio State a couple years ago. He had a promising season. Not sure if he unlocked his full potential with Carson Wentz and us running the ball so much. Maybe we, like I said, with a Jacob Eason, that might unlock our receiver core a little more. Going young might be the key for that particular spot in our team, because we do have a lot of veterans, and when you look at our offense, it's mostly younger players. And I think when you put the intangibles in between those young, like we talked about with the NBA, you have healthy, young, fresh guys who can bring energy, play a lot of snaps too, and that you could try to depend on to learn on the fly. And you put those intangibles, veterans in between those guys, and a couple of productive veterans like Darius Leonard, Quentin Nelson going into his 4th year. I'm not sure we'll call him a veteran yet, but with his level, he's level.
He's one of the top.
That's what I'm saying. One of the top, bro. The top, bro. He gonna get the highest. He gonna get the highest contract at that position, bro.
Yeah. He right now he's walking on borderline, future Hall of Famer, man. So
yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, I know when you sprinkle in those young guys, man, especially like at the receiver position, speed positions that can get down the field. That's why, if it was me, we drafted Jacob Eason I think it was the 3rd or the 4th round of 2018, if I'm not mistaken. 2018, maybe 19. This would be his 3rd year. He was under Phillip Rivers. He was under Carson Wentz. I'll give him a chance, man. He's a gunslinger, and he might unlock what we need in our offense. We can push the ball. It's always going to be 8 in the box. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of teams trying to load up to stop our run game. So it's going to be a lot of one-on-one on the sidelines. So we might need somebody who could potentially get that ball to those receivers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. First of all, if you're crazy, you want to go to Jacob Eason.
You might as well start to build with somebody instead of taking 1 year of Phillip Rivers, 1 year of Carson. We're not moving towards nothing. We need to try to build something.
I'm gonna tell you this. If they had so much confidence in Jacob Eason, they wouldn't have traded a 1st-round pick for Carson Wentz.
You're right.
Now,
there was a lot of feelings involved, though. Like, we can't say that Carson Wentz just showed us that he was going to be guaranteed positive or guaranteed like that guy.
Yeah, but he's better than what's out in the market now. And from what I just seen, I don't even think Jimmy G might even come out.
Yeah.
They might not even trade him. They're talking about keeping him to the summer. And if that's the case, you might as well kick Jimmy G until Trey Lance is ready.
Yep.
Trey Lance might be ready now. I mean, we won't know until they put him out on the field.
That's true. Small sample size. But for the Colts needs, yeah, I'll give you that. Wide receiver is definitely one thing I'll target. You guys need a swift, maybe because Michael Pittman, he's an X, but I'll see him more as a wide receiver too. So I would get like a speedy guy out there, more like a trying to look at my options. Let's see. Jahan Dotson, he'd probably be gone before the 2nd round because you guys got his 42nd pick. Jahan Dotson, George Pickens. Christian Watson from North Dakota State, 6'4", runs a 4.3, big guy. That's be a good target for y'all. And I'll also get a pass rusher. You guys invested a 1st-round pick in Kwity Paye, had 4 sacks, 10 quarterbacks hit. You guys need another dual threat edge rusher on the outside to help with that defensive front, and probably a corner too.
Yeah, they definitely need a corner. If you ask me, they need that needs to be their first field, man. Who is Xavier Rhodes? He used to say all roads is closed, all roads are open right now with him. So he can't stop anybody, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but man, y'all tune into the Rissky Powerhouse, man, on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook. We just got a Twitter going. We hopping into spaces. We starting spaces on Twitter now, getting the conversation going. A lot more NBA talk, growing all those pages. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube, man. Tune in.
Yes, sir. Same, man. You know, go ahead, Darius. Let me hear you.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all getting me on the show. Gonna be getting my gear and stuff straight. Y'all just stay tuned, man. And y'all want to follow me at not underscore Cleveland Junior _ Sensei. Y'all want to see me talk a little bit about football and stuff out there, and little bit of comedy up there. I joke around a little bit.
Weak. Cleveland Junior.
Hey,
My
man.
name is Cleveland Brown. I don't own rights.
So as again, man, Josh's Proximity meets Rissky Powerhouse meets Darius Ricks. Once again, catch us on the flip side, all right?
Y'all will see me later.